Hello, I think we are live. So if you are here, let me know. Just drop me a big hi. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm just in we work in New York City at the moment, so I'll be here to help you out. I've got some questions coming up already, and I will kind of jump into them. So if you are here and you can see me, drop a hello down below, drop a hi. Obviously interested to support you guys and what we're doing. So let's go and jump in. First things first, T. Clapson. Hey, T. Clapson, thanks for joining. Yo, Tom, can you please allow Fast Track FBA to filter EU and UK suppliers and variations or no variations? Good point. I love to buy solely UK suppliers, no variation listings. Great. So that's for our lead service, if anyone is interested. Please just let me know if you can actually hear me fine. I'm trying out some microphones, Rogue ones, seeing if they're working, and hopefully they should be. And if you can hear me, that'd be great. I'm also in a different room today, so let me know if you can hear me fine. So, Terry, definitely, we're doing some updates to the lead service. I won't lie, they're not going to go live for a while, but this is a really good function, so I'll definitely add that in and put that into the kind of the plan. Let me just drop that in now. I'll put that into my planner. 2 seconds. If I put that into my workflow. Do this. Actually, I'll put it into my Trello board. That'll be easy. 2 seconds. Okay, cool. So, guys, if you are here, do drop down any questions or comments down below. Obviously, I can answer them, support you guys. This time is really about supporting you in your Amazon businesses. I just want to kind of answer any questions you've got. So let me know in the comments. So let's kind of get here. Aaron, hi Tom, hope you're well. I was wondering how many of the leads in your VAs discover turn out to be replenishable on average. As capital increases, it must be hard to spend with just brand new leads. Yeah, well, I can give you a statistic. I can give you 2 statistics, which will actually be quite interesting for you. So in regards to replenishable ASINs, 2 things I'll share with you. Number 1, I was watching in regards to wholesale, Amazon Lit talk about that only 50% of their leads will be ones that they replenish. So they buy something and then they can't buy it again for various reasons. And also for me, we don't ever look at it individually like we can buy it today and then tomorrow we can't buy it again. The way we look at it is like we track it by ASIN. So let's say, for example, you might have an ASIN, it's with one supplier and then tomorrow it changes to another supplier, would still class that as replenishable because the ASIN is replenishable. Then the next one we'll look at is to say that, is to say that quite simply we will, if we can find an ASIN, if we buy an ASIN today, then it goes out of stock and then we classify it as replenishable. If we buy an ASIN today, if we've ever bought that ASIN previously in the last 12 months, then it's a replenishable ASIN. Because what we understand in the OA business is that things come in and out, but generally you're looking to replenish those items. And in regards to that, i.e. like the number of ASINs that we purchase more than once in any 12-month period, i.e. a year, is about 80%, 84%. So it kind of gives you a bit of an idea. But I think what you need to understand about it is like what your definition of a replenishable is. So like if you think you can buy an ASIN today, sell it, and then 2 weeks later you want to buy again, like you might not be able to buy it again. That's the nature of it. Or it could be the case that you might have to buy the same ASIN from a different supplier. Like that's the way we look at it. So I hope that makes sense. And the concept is really about having a range of products that come in and out of stock and you're replenishing them over the course of a 12-month period, not looking at any one individual product and continually looking to reorder. If you look at that in isolation, it doesn't work. Like the model doesn't work. So I would stop looking at it like you can always buy it, because those kind of deals crash because they're not replenishable. Because if they are replenishable in regards to replenishable from the supplier, the price crashes. That's what you don't want. So I hope that makes sense. Aaron, let me know down below if that's helpful. So Edwin, hi Edwin, let me know how I can help you today. Any questions? And if you can hear me fine. So Richie Resells, hi Tom, thanks for giving up your time today. Cool, how much do you spend on average a month getting IP complaints removed with Jeff? Notice there's a charge after one IP complaint removal. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. The reason is I don't deal with it directly myself. We use Jeff with my team liaises them. We have paid in the past. I won't lie. I think if I had to guess in my head, like just looking at the P&L, I think maybe over the course of like a year, and I know Jeff hasn't been around for a year because he worked for a previous company who we worked with before we transferred over with him. But I think we probably paid 4 times, if I had to guess. And what you kind of learn is that, like, look, here's the thing: you have an IP complaint today, you could just wait until next month, and then do it on that month, if that makes sense. So you are technically paying $100 per removal, but it's cheaper than everything else. So, and then what you kind of learn is that, you know, a lot of the IP complaints are the same kind. So my team just get the, you know, the kind of same template, and then you use that template again for another one and tweak it. And if we still struggle, then we'll go back to Jeff. So my admin these days do it. And how much time? Obviously, I couldn't tell you. I don't know, but I don't think most VAs spend too much time. And if I were to define too much time, maybe an hour or two a week tops, like absolute tops. In the UK right now, I think we have 2 IP complaints. In the USA, we have 3. That's it. We had 9 2 months ago in the USA. So we've cleared a lot of them down. So it does happen, but I hope that makes sense. Richie, let me know if that helps make sense. Let me know also down below if there's any, like, you know, how long you're spending, if there's anything else. Also, I just kind of jump, Jose. I'll come back to you in a second, Jose. I imagine it all adds up considering the number you had in the USA recently. Can eat profits away quickly? Yes, agreed. But again, at the top of my head, looking at the P&L, only like 9, like 4 we've paid for. And again, like, the thing for you, like, when you're looking at IP complaints, there's a couple of, the methodology you want to think about is, first of all, prevention. So buying brands which aren't going to do it. Number 2, then, you know, prevention, minimization, so reacting, you know, when things go in, updating what's happening. Number 3 is, what else? Yeah, then number 3 is the case that, you know, once you get them, is about removing them. And then obviously process improvement. So for me, is about really kind of, we're pretty hot on not buying bad brands. The team know what they are. Another seller I know, he literally has a list of what's known as approved brands. So if any sourcer wants, if any purchasing manager wants to buy new brands, they have to go through a whole review process, and they might even pay a lawyer to check to see whether they've taken any sellers to court. So rather than like sell it and see if it works, they go the other way. Like, we'll only sell it if we can prove that it works, and there's no guarantee thing. So, and then that stops you having to pay the IP complaints. It's up to you. I don't think. But I think at the end of the day, like, even if you just waited a month and then use the next month's IP removal process, that would be fine. Like, that's what you're kind of using. So I hope that makes sense, Richie. Let me know if that is helpful. Jose, right. Hi, have any of your IP issues, and have you had any IP issues in the past, so you can tell me what you did? Oh yeah, fine. We were literally just talking about that. Yeah, loads, like, absolute loads. I had 9 in the US at one point. I think we have 3 now. So like 2 months ago we had 9, now we've got 3. We fight them all. We use a guy called www.fasttrackfba.com/Jeff. It links, it's just a shortcut. You go through a guy called Jeff we use. It's about $90 a month, and as Richie just said, and I'll highlight it here, you can get 1 IP removal per month for part of that. So look, at the end of the day, don't try not to get 12 a year. That's quite a lot. And if you do have to pay, sometimes you've got to pay. And we kind of think about it like, it's worth it. Like, depending on your volume, like, we're doing the US right now, probably like 100K a month. We'll probably start going up to 150K a month soon. So we're okay. In the UK, we could get 9, no problem. We've got like 300K a month revenue. So it's fine. But like, at the end of the day, like, the IP complaints you get are how risky it is proportionate to your revenue. The more revenue you're doing, the generally fine. And that isn't a fact. It's what we assume, is what we see. So, you know, the Jeff service at $80 a month is $90 a month is really good. Do speak to him, like, and he's really helpful. Like, he is really helpful. So, and again, if you've got more than 1 IP complaint, you can probably just daisy chain them. Like, 1 month do one, 1 month do the next one, 1 month do the next one, and then after a while, try and do different types of IP complaint. Like, if you've got like 3, they're all exactly the same. Like, IP warning without test buy, you know, fraudulent without test buy. Then just do 1 of them, and then take the template and copy it for all the other ones. Like, don't need to pay for it. I hope that makes sense. And Richie, I think you've done that as well. So Jose, I hope that makes sense. Let me know down below. Let's jump over to Leftirus. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hi, Tom. Thank you for the presentation. Hello. Cool. What's the best way to just start? JFDI, man. Just beep, do it. Go to fasttrackfba.com, top right-hand corner, resources, free course. Do that, 7-day free course. It'll just get you started. Then, like, buy stuff, like literally $500, £500, start buying stuff. buy it, ship it in. That's what I really recommend. We've got some great videos on like how to get started for £500. Look at fasttrackfba.com/tools. They're like a lot of the tools we use. There's a really good video for like how to get started for like £500. I think we did on the Fast Track FBA channel. And also like it will just kind of help you out getting started. So that course will help you out getting started, the top tools, what to do in 7 days. At the end of the day, look, take $500, keep your expenses really low. Don't go buy loads of software. Don't go buy my services. You don't need them. You can just start on yourself if you've got time. Just start sourcing, buy stuff, ship it in, sell it, and learn from the process. Don't go and buy stuff from like eBay, If the profit seems insanely high, it's probably too good to be true, and it's probably going to go wrong. Obviously, use like a credit card to start with for protection from fraud, because these things do happen. But I think that's it really. Just get started, buy a couple of goods, and get the receipts, and that's it. And then just start practicing. That's the nature of learning. That's what we do. Hope that makes sense. If there's anything specific you want, let me know in the comments down below. Aaron, very insightful. Thanks. Cool. Glad I could help. Mohammed, how to find deal website in the UK? Check out Fast Track FBA YouTube channel. There is a couple of videos like top categories, top deals. You can even do like the top 100 suppliers. There you go. We have top deal websites. We've got lots of videos about that. How to find 5 to 10 deals per day. Go back to those deal websites, the one I talked about for that, and then just start sourcing. FastTrackFBA.com or Fast Track FBA YouTube channel. Go to the playlist, look at sourcing, use those sourcing techniques on those suppliers. You'll find deals. Trust me, that's what we do. It's not rocket science. Hope that makes sense, Mohammed. Let me know in the comments down below if that is helpful. Ross P, hi mate, hope you're all good. How close do you go when buying items exactly the same as the one saying on Amazon? For example, the product and the flavor of strawberry, but for example, if there was a product and the flavor of strawberry and the website says strawberry delight and the contents are the same inside, it's okay to buy. Look, long story short, in regards to the thing, Amazon stipulate they have to be exactly the same product. So my question is like, if they're the same product, but the packaging's been updated, that's fine. And also you need to make sure the packaging kind of looks the same. Maybe it's just a slight tweak, same barcode, for example, fine. But if it's kind of like one is 450 mil, the other one's 460 mil, the answer is no. It's not a packaging update. That is a different product because of different size. So generally, the real kind of measure of thing I would say is like, so long as it's not like a change, like you can't quantifiably prove they're different, i.e. package size or quantity. But if it's maybe an updated packaging, my question would be like, if I received that product, would I feel like, oh my God, like this isn't what I ordered? That's what I'd be looking at. So yeah, for you, I'd really be thinking about that. Like, if you received this product, you ordered this on the website and received this, would you be like, oh, okay, cool, it's the same product. Fine, just looks a bit different. Fine. Like, if that's fine, then no problem. But if it's like, oh my God, this is definitely not the same product, or like, I might complain, I might send it back, then I wouldn't risk it. You just don't want to get the returns. It's just hassle. So I hope that makes sense, Ross P. But again, if it's quantifiably different in regards to like size, unit, don't do it because they're different. But if it's kind of like an updated package, fine, just so long as the updated package isn't completely different. Again, you're really looking about would a customer return this or raise a complaint? That's the real answer. Richie Resales, I'm having an issue. The issue I'm having is that I'm selling on listings that were fine when doing the deal analysis, but the listing owner has since trademarked the bundle and registered IP complaint. Okay, cool. So let's go down here. I'll come back to the people I'm skipping. It says that the brand like Heinz on the analysis, and it's changed to seller's name after we get on the listing. Yeah, there's like, I think I know what you mean. Like, there's a whole big thing right now where like people are creating unique bundles, but under their brand name rather than the actual brand of the product, which is absolutely frustrating. My question would be like, was it really Heinz as the brand when you first listed it? Or was that a mistake? And I'm not saying you were right or wrong, because I don't even know the listing. So number one, you've got to really investigate that. And then number two is the case that could you go back to Amazon? Do you start to take screenshots of all your listings that you're going to list on? Just save them, for example. We use something called like, I don't know, what's it called? The Chrome extension. Can I right mouse click on that? What is it? it's like light shot, I think it is. And you can upload them to the website, so they're like, the web, so they're kind of indexed. So then you can share that to Amazon Search Engine and say, look, on this date, here's a screenshot of this. Doesn't even mean it's necessarily going to be answered, because you can change the HTML code and take a screenshot. I don't know the answer, I really don't, but like, I do understand your concern, but there must be a way to go to Amazon and say, look, the brand's changed on the actual listing, and they can see that. And then the other one is to say that they go back and fight it to say that the brand's been changed on the listing. And once you get Amazon to say, yes, it has been changed, and you say the IP alert should be null and void because it was never their brand in the first place. We were selling it under the correct brand. I really don't know, but like the one thing that you're kind of just say under this is like, it's for me in the fact that I'd probably say like, you shouldn't be getting that many. Like, you might get one or two and that should be fine, but like, unless you're selling like all the same products and across all the same listings, and all those listings have changed, like that would cause that problem, which I can understand that might happen, but like, it should be the real exception. But then my other thought would be like, maybe you just want to think about changing tactic, because obviously that tactic is, because of the nature of what people are doing, changing brand names is then causing a big issue for you in regards to IP complaints. So it might be like your way of selling isn't working because of inefficiencies within the Amazon ecosystem and the way it operates in the marketplace. So that would be my thoughts. Sorry, I know it's not like do this, that's the answer, but like, that's how I would think about it, because don't get me wrong, Amazon's not perfect. Like, we know that. So sorry, Richie. I hope that makes sense. And that's the only thing I can really think about. Let's kind of jump back. King Nathan. Is it better to stay away from the big, well-known websites when sourcing? No, not at all. My God, like if you were to talk about like little website or Walmart, I would choose Walmart. Why? Because like Walmart have bigger range, they have more buying power, so they're probably going to give you bigger discounts, and that works. Yeah, you can have more competition, but like at the end of the day, like so much opportunity. Like there's a multi-million-dollar industry just for reselling on like from Walmart onto Amazon. So like I wouldn't really. No, I would definitely do it. And even if your margins aren't as big, like it's not really a big issue. So I hope that makes sense. Like, yeah, I'd definitely go for big websites. There is an advantage to go for the small ones, definitely, but obviously you generally can't buy bigger options. There's going to be less deals as a percentage of overall supply, cashback, etc., etc. That's what I just think. So, and you can probably buy less bulk. So depends how big you are. If you're a small seller, small websites, fine, but big websites are good as well. If you're a big seller, I probably wouldn't go for small websites because they just can't do the volume and it's a bit of a hassle. I hope that makes sense. Ross P, what happens if you brought a product that you thought was the same? It turns out to be slightly different and the customer complains. What happens with this? Well, they complain, so either give them the money back or return the item. That's it. Like this happens all the time. Like, they complain. So like, yeah, like, hopefully, like what do you think about? Like, this is going to happen. This is a fact. Like, it will happen. So the answer you're really trying to think about is like, how can I minimize the percentage of the time this happening? So that's obviously good sourcing, making sure you're doing the matching, also the warehouse doing good checking as well, and that's about it really. And then obviously and then probably like only going deep once you know it's the right product and you've got a good supplier, and doing test buys. That's all I can probably really recommend. Let me know if that makes sense, Ross, down below. If there's anything specific you're looking for. Amit, hi Tom. When you realised that you needed a VA, how much were you making in the UK? Oh my God. Okay, let's put it this way. All honesty, 100%. I lost money in my first year because of VAs. Don't do it. I lost money. Nice plastic cup. I lost money in my first year because of VAs. I did 6 figures in my first year, probably like 180. Don't quote me. It's 5 years ago now. And I lost money, 180 in revenue, not profits. And I lost money. And the reason was I hired lots of VAs. I didn't really understand what they were doing. I didn't really understand the metrics behind them. We weren't selling stock quick enough. And once I started figuring it out, how much profit each VA was generating, I was like, I'm losing money. My God. So we just got really clear on that. And then second year kind of pulled it back. So yeah, making in the UK probably about 150, 180,000 in revenue. I hired like quite a few VAs. I did lots of things, didn't do it right. If you want, so that was then. I'm answering your question very directly, but if you want my honest answer now, generally speaking, so a couple of metrics you should be looking at if you are thinking about hiring a VA. Number one, you should be profitable. That's super important. If you're not making profit, don't bother hiring someone else because they're only going to do what you're doing and you're going to lose more money. Number two is you should ideally, every week when you're doing your work, buying and selling, you should look at your bank account at the end of the week and go, how much money have I got left to spend? And that value, like for at least a good 4 or 5 weeks, should always be around at least £4,000, 5,000 US, up to about 10,000. Ideally closer to the 10,000 mark. If you've got like 10,000 in the bank or available credit on credit cards that you're just not using, then okay, cool. That's for a couple of weeks, about a month at least. That's the time to say, okay, let's think about getting a VA. But if you've got like 1,000, 2,000 left, it's just not worth it because you've got to buy stock, ship it in, get it sold, wait 14 days at Amazon to give it back to make the profit on that stock, and then pay the VA's wages, and then obviously have profit after that. And at least 4,000, but ideally closer to 10 is where you want to be. And then once you've got that, you've got enough capital to invest in the deals the VA finds to turn it to make profit to give it back. I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments down below, but that's my advice. When I find a profitable product, I buy them, but I cannot make a good guess about the right buy amount. When I want to buy the product again, it's being sold, you decide the amount to buy them. How do you decide? Okay, really simple. Like, there's a couple of videos we've done on it, like how to calculate sales. But at a very simple level, you find a product you like. If I do it really simply, you've done all the checks. So take the listing sales, let's call it 100. Take the number of sellers on the listing, call it like 4. And by the way, I only really look at sellers on or around the buy box. I'm not really interested in like merge and fulfilled who are way off. I'm just interested in like those who are competing for the buy box. So let's call it 100 listing sales per month. Call it 4 competitors around the buy box. Add 1 on, that makes 5. I then divide the 100 by 5, which equals 20. So we all get 20 sales per month. And then what I'll do is I'll have a look at, so I might buy 20 then, because I buy about a month. But what I'll then do is have a quick look at the competitor's stock. If each competitor sat on about 20 stocks, I'd be like, cool, we buy 20, we're happy. If each competitor is slightly less than 20, I might buy a little bit more because they're probably going to sell out before the month. Or if they're quite a lot over 20, then I'd probably buy a little bit less because they're probably going to be more inclined to be a bit more competitive. Obviously, the more stock they have, the less I'm probably going to buy because I just think the competition will be there. So that's about it, really. Listing sales divided by the number of buy box competition plus 1, you. And that's about it, really. And that's how many will buy. Again, the long story short is you don't know the answer. The market's always changing, but you just got to make an assumption and guess. That's the way it works. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments down below. You said here, I have some products which are selling 1 to 2 items a day, and I have 300 pieces of them. Yeah, that's what you don't want. That's the thing. How can I increase product sales? 2 things: decrease price. Decrease price increases demand, which obviously means more sales. Or number 2, run PPC. If you can ask me, decrease price. It's the easiest way. Decrease price, see what happens, see if you can get the listings ranking a bit more. Like crash it down to break even, just get it cleared. You're sat there with stock. This is a really common one. I had a chat with someone on Instagram over the weekend. If you go to Amazon Seller Central inventory planning, far right hand side, it tells you what's known as days in inventory, and it tells you days in turn in days or number of turns. So basically, days in inventory is like how long on average will your inventory currently last. So ideally, you want that around about the 30 up to about 60. Now, if you're below that, days in inventory, 30 to 60. If you're below 30, like we were at 12, we're now up to 23, going up to 30. But if you're below it, what you're probably doing is you're selling your stock too fast. So you probably want to increase prices a bit and get more ROI and slow down the rate of sales. You might think, oh, we're not going to be competitive. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Just try it. But then if you're over 60 days, maybe over 90 days, then it means you're selling your stock way too slow. So you probably want to bring your prices down a little bit. And then obviously what you're going to do is increase the turnover rate. And if you're struggling for cash, which a lot of people are, then ideally you want to kind of bring down that number of days. So Seller Central, inventory planning, far right-hand side, number of days in inventory. You want that number between about 30 and 60. Ideally, because that's about the ideal amount of stock. Remember, Amazon's warehouses are called fulfillment centers, not storage centers. They're there to fulfill stock. 30 to 60 is about the ideal sweet spot where you want to be. If you've got too much stock in, you're holding cash in stock, which isn't selling quick enough. Or if you haven't got enough stock in, i.e. below 30, then you're shifting it too fast and you're not holding enough stock relative. Now, it might be the case that you can't buy enough. It's up to you, but you can kind of feel like ideally 30 to 60. And if you're struggling with supply, change your price. And it's basically economics, supply and demand. That's it. Just check it out. Hope that makes sense, Amit, down below. Edwin, in your Getting Started USA course, you mentioned that we shouldn't use your preferred prep center for bundling items. Is that still the case? Their bundling prices seem to have changed since. Yeah, we just, like, long story short, we just don't do bundling. Like, if anyone's interested, fasttrackfba.com, up top right, it'll be like courses, and you go to Getting Started on USA. I really recommend it. We're doing like 100K now. The margins are amazing. I think over the weekend we're doing 40% ROI. It's incredible. But in regards to bundling, like, it's just too expensive. Like, it doesn't, like, if you can find a product profitable enough, fine, no problem, do it. But I just don't think that prep center is good for bundling. And we're just not doing bundling at the moment at all. So there's no harm in finding another prep center which is cheaper to do bundling, absolutely fine. But that prep center, the one we're recommending, I probably wouldn't, because they're just too expensive. To be honest, if you're going to ask me, get on the phone with the prep center and ask them the cost of bundling, and you can work out yourself. And if they change, fine. We haven't even asked the question, because we're we'll probably do 100K this month on that business with no bundles. So 100K in 1 month sales, 40% ROI, maybe like 30% because we're going up. Like, yeah, like, I haven't seen the need. If we're struggling, we'll look at it. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Good question, Edwin. Let me know if that answers your answer down below. Leftist. Thanks, Tom. I like the way you approach this business and really enjoy your training. Thank you so much. I'd love to know what you think, like, how you mean approach this business. That'd be interesting. Like, thank you for sharing. Really good. But, like, how do I approach it? Yeah, like, I'd love to know, like, what you're seeing in the way I'm talking, what I'm saying. But hey, I'm glad I can help. Let's jump through. Ross P. I'm finding it quite common that when I buy a product and go by the time it's with Amazon, the price has dropped. How would you go about this? Wait until the lower sellers are sold out or get back up? Great question. So what you're basically saying is, I find products, I ship them in, and by the time I ship them in, the price has gone down. Agreed. So a couple of top things I really recommend for you. We kind of learnt this and do this in the USS, so the Ultimate Sourcing Sheet, Fast Track FBA, Resources, Ultimate Sourcing Sheet. What we do is, it kind of does it automatically, but it can be very useful for this. So you're buying stuff, and when you buy stuff, in the SKU, you're encoding the buy price and the expected sell price. That's an important point. So buy and expected sell price. Now, what you're looking to do is, when you actually sell the product, you're looking at obviously what you're saying, what the real price is, and obviously what the variance is between expected and actual. Now, what you're going to get is, you're going to get a range of products where maybe they expected to sell for one price, and obviously it's sold for the real price. And obviously that's market conditions. And then the USS does this, and you can do this manually, but the USS does it automatically. You can then, in the USS, what we can do is, you can see it by individual product, like what I thought I'd set it at and what I did set it at, and whether it's higher or lower. And then the other one, which is really interesting, is because when you create the product, obviously you say which store you bought it from, but also you can say which sourcing method you use. So what you can then do is, you can actually go back to what's in the 80/20 tab, and it will tell you, like, out of all your suppliers, which suppliers give you the best ROI, or what is the ROI? So you might be like, Walmart, well, hey, it looks really good when you're sourcing, but at point of sale, when you sold the products, is only really getting you a 10% ROI because everyone's doing it. So what you're going to say is, hey guys, we might want to calm down from Walmart. It's really good for spending lots of money, but we're not getting the ROI. And you might want to look at that and say, oh, wow, this, like, I don't know, Walgreens, for example, I'm saying it's true. Walgreens is doing like 35% ROI. Guys, can we spend a bit more time on Walgreens, because the ROI is converting a lot better, like maybe less competition, the nature of the products, etc., etc. So that's going to allow you to change your sourcing methodology, or should we say your approach to your suppliers, because each supplier has a true ROI, not an estimated, because when you buy, it's always estimated. Then the other one is, we do it through, you can actually break it down by sourcing methodology, which kind of works, kind of doesn't, and it depends how you do it all. So if you like doing reverse sourcing, obviously you see a decline in that, but maybe you're going to do, like, I don't know, bundle sourcing, looking for something like that. That works, like, higher. So long story short, the USS does it, but the way we approach this exact problem is by saying, is when we buy, it's an estimation, and when you sell is what the reality is. And what you really want to do is not worry about estimations. You want to worry about what reality is, see what really happens, amalgamate that data over like a group of products over a week or a month, and then extrapolate which suppliers are better, and then go spend more time on those suppliers. Because at the end of the day, even if it's like, they don't look as profitable as Walmart, they're going to convert better. That's the goal. It's, buying is, you make your money when you buy, as they say, but like, it's only an estimation. It's really when you sell. Ross P, let me know if that makes sense. And if anyone is interested, fasttrackfba.com/USS, Uniform Sierra. Or you just go to the menu bar and you can see it. You can even book if you speak to chat, you can book in a free call with the team and they'll walk you through it as well. But it's really good. It's got an API, connects to Amazon, does lots of stuff. We're doing development on it as well. So I hope that makes sense. Right, Amit, is it really necessary to use a repricer if you have more than 30 different products for listing? No, not at all. You don't need a repricer at all. You can do it completely manually if you want. But if you are up against a repricer, it does become a lot more challenging because they will change every 15 minutes and you're not going to get any sleep. So, and you're not going to be able to source because you're checking all the products. So you don't have to, but it's up to you. It's really, really up to you. We do, we have like 1,000 SKUs. So it's up to you. Like I think it's not necessary, but I think it's definitely going to help you. Like I really do. I still don't know if I activate Amazon USA, can I sell and send my Amex directly from Germany to USA? Does Amazon organize my sale every delivered to you? Okay, so I'm not 100% sure, and you need to like really just check into this. But if you are currently a Germany seller selling in Germany and you activate USA, okay, so let's be very crystal clear. You have also the global selling program, which is if you have products in the Germany FBA warehouses, they may be listed on Amazon USA. And if a customer buys it on Amazon USA, Amazon Germany will buy it from you and then ship it to the customer in Germany. But you're not selling to the customer in Germany. You're actually selling to the customer in you're not selling to the customer in the USA, you're selling to the customer in Germany, and the customer in Germany is Amazon. Like you'll see them, it does happen. You'll get the monthly invoices, and obviously you're definitely going to be VAT registered. Germany, USA, they don't do it really. I think if you're not VAT registered, that's just for Germany. Now, if you turn on Amazon USA and you start listing, you've either got two options: FBA, it's got to be in Amazon's warehouses in America, USA, or FBM, fulfillment by merchant. Now, if you're doing FBM, you're going to have to ship it from Germany to the USA, which is going to cost you a fortune, and then import tax as well. So I don't know the answer to what you're saying. Like you can turn it on, but it's completely up to you. And if you want to ship FBA, you're still going to have to deal with import anyway because you're outside the, it's not like a trading agreement. There's still tariffs and stuff. So make sure you're aware of that. US, yeah. Are you taking part of the Prime Day? Are you taking part, guessing, in Prime Days as seller? Offer comes to me, I always don't know. I don't really understand. Like, if you're saying, am I selling as part of Prime Days? No, don't do that. I've never done it, not in 5 years. Never been part of it, not interested. Why? Because in our game, OA, supply is the problem, not sales. We're already buying products which are selling well. I don't know why I'd want to drop 20% off my price because my supply is the problem. So, yeah, I don't get involved in that. We used to buy on Amazon, but we don't anymore. But yeah, you could buy for Prime Day, but we don't do it anymore. Just don't use the Amazon Prime account. 1 second. Mark. Right, good evening, Mark. Good morning. Good morning from New York here. So is there any possible way to see how many FBA in a certain item in Amazon UK, just like with Amazon USA? Because I'm having a hard time to find FBA in Amazon UK storefront stalking. Yeah, so like tools like Seller Toolkit will what's that toolkit? Seller Ramp, SAS, Seller Ramp, Buybot Pro, FBA Multi Tool, all these kind of calculator tools. They all kind of show you the stock levels. Even Keeper, if you install Keeper, it will show you the stock levels if you go onto them. So yeah, like it will tell you how many units. The only exception is if the seller has limited the quantity to like 1 or like 10, it will only show you how many they've limited to. So the FBA seller might have like 100 in stock, but if they've limited it to like a purchase of 5 per customer, you'll only see 5. Seller Amp shows you like 5 plus to say that it's been limited, so it could be more, but you don't know. So yeah, just use one of these calculator tools. That really helps you out. Hope that makes sense, Mark. Let me know in the comments down below. How often do you meet with your VA team? What, in person? Like 2 years ago, before COVID. In online? Every single day. Friday, I generally don't. Like a typical rundown for me, like you got to think that I have like 70, 75 VAs, 70, 75 VAs, I think. It's always changing. But Monday is like accounts, admin in the morning, and then I go to sleep. Well, it's actually Sunday night. Sunday night accounts admin, then I do marketing for Fast Track FBA, and then we do sleep, and then I wake up in the morning and I have ops for Fast Track FBA, then I have ops for Amazon, and I meet my ops manager, and that's it. And in regards to my Amazon business, I only meet 2 types of people: my ops manager, and then at night, or Monday morning, and then Sunday night, I speak to the accounting team. That's it, and move the money around. And then my ops manager deals with the rest of the team. He deals with all the purchasing managers, who deal with the purchasing assistants, who deal with the rest of the admin team and the assist and the sources. Like, I don't like. Yeah, I couldn't actually tell you the last time I met directly with the sources. Once a month, I have an all hands meeting, which is all the staff together. But yeah, I can't tell you the last time. I can't remember. Maybe a year ago, I met with all the sources. Yeah, I think about 9 months. Probably about 7 months, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, I let go of Amazon USA and just handed it off my purchasing manager, and he deals with it all now underneath my ops manager. Hope that makes sense, Amit. Chinzono, please can you explain how to go about prep centers? How does it work, and how can you recommend a good one in the UK? Okay, let's go backwards. Good ones, a couple of ones that I know. We Prep FBA, they're in Suffolk. Who else? Other one? Systemized Fulfillment, Kev Blackburn, he's good. Been around for a long time. And then Dan Gibbs over in Fast Pack FBA in Manchester. There's 3. Generally good. You know, that people had good things about them. How do they work? You basically go on argos.com, find the products you want, ship them to their address, not your address, and basically then generally through an Excel spreadsheet, tell them what you've just ordered, put it on the sheet, and then they will wait for it to arrive. When it arrives, obviously it will have your name on it, so like Tom Parkinson, and then they'll go, oh, cool, Tom Parkinson. They'll load up Tom Parkinson's Excel spreadsheet. Go, is he expecting 6 Lego? How many you got? 6 Lego, cool, all received. That day, fine, add any comments. And then you've got 6 Lego, and then once you've got enough stock in the warehouse, like 6 Lego, another 6 Lego, you tell them, hi guys, can we ship this into Amazon? And they'll basically just take those 6 Lego plus another 6 Lego, 12 Lego, put them into a box, either create an Amazon shipment or get you to do it, stick the stickers on it all, and then ship them off to Amazon. That's it. And they'll charge you a fee for that. That's really simple. And they really help. Top tip for you when you're looking at them, just see how the communication is. Send them an email, see how quick they get back to you, send them a phone call, see how they are on the phone, how responsive they are. Why? Because if they're responsive, if their ability to respond right now is slow and poor, my God, you do not want to be doing them when shit hits the fan. Like, when problems happen and they're not, if they can struggle to respond to you in the good times, when stuff is bad, that's when you've got a big problem. And I've heard many horror stories of like prep centers holding on to stock for like 3 months, £10,000, £20,000 worth of stock sat in there. You're basically giving them money in cash value. So you just want to make sure that, number one, they're good communication. And I hate to say it, like, I generally look for prep centers with at least 1 year's experience, and they have a reputation through social media, through like online presence. They're not a new one. It's not to say that I don't think new prep centers you shouldn't try them. No, there are good ones. But what I really worry about is, and I've seen it time and time again, is the fact that new prep centers ping up, they talk on too many customers, and then what happens is they just can't handle the volume, and then they cause loads of problems, and then they shut down. And what's really interesting is like they're just not really well managed. So the result is that people suffer. So if you go for one that's been around for a while, they've got a reputation which they really care about because they're looking for customers, and they're not likely to take on too many customers too quickly. That's always the problem. Especially like, if the one question I might ask is like, tell me what do you do around Q4? And if they say we shut applications at the beginning of Q4 for new clients, I'd be like, I like you. You sound good. Because you just don't, Q4 is always the busiest time. It's a nightmare. So if they stop accepting clients in Q4, you're like, cool, I think you might be good. Not saying it's definitely, check your senses, ask around, look for reviews. And then, hey, there's no harm in like having 2 prep centers. If you're doing enough, use 2. You can always play them off each other, start shipping to the one place and the other, depending on shipping times. Hope that makes sense. Let me know down in the comments below. And you find a product and Amazon is also in the listing. You find a product and Amazon is listing. Amazon sale price is still profitable for you, and you even get a lower price. Maybe I would look at a couple of things. Look at my Keeper training Advanced. It's a Keeper video called Advanced. I'd look at that. 2 things. It's on YouTube. I would really look at what is it? I would really look at number one, what's Amazon's lowest ever historic price over the last year at least, and ask yourself, can you at least break even on that price? Because they could go down that low. And then number two is the fact that have Amazon ever shown a history of sharing the product? And also, if they have shown a history of sharing the product, at what price have they shared it at? And am I willing to sell at that price? And if the answer is yes, 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 cool, then buy it and try. But also, as well, I always do the estimation if it's like Amazon are going to take 2/3 of the sales and I'll have 1/3. Just be mindful of that. They don't share easily. Like, you've got to test. Amazon aren't fair. One more question, Tom, please. What is the minimum amount of funds required to start OA? Well, I know people doing it for 500. You know, if you ask me, don't get me wrong, I think you should probably ideally 2,000, 1,000, 2,000 a process. Look, at the end of the day, it's it depends how much what you want, what's your goal. If you want to go full time, you've got nothing else to do, then I'd probably say 10,000. But if you're, if you want to hire VAs, then I'd probably say more than that, straight off the bat. But if you kind of got a job and just want to do it on the side hustle, £1,000, I think you'd be fine with. You can get started. But let's not lie here. Let's be really honest. Everyone you see successful, they've not taken £1,000 and then kept flipping it. Some people have. I won't lie. But the majority of people you're going to see, especially the more kind of influential sellers, they'll be how I started with £1,000. You're yeah, cool. You did start with £1,000. Then you figured it worked. Then what do? You got a credit card with a £10,000 limit on it. And that's where you made the real money. So, even myself, we release videos about Amazon loan, £250,000. Hey, you get a £250,000 loan, you flip it 4 times in a year, that's £1 million in spend. And if you're going to buy something for, £10 and sell it for 20, that's £2 million in revenue. Easily done. It's not very hard to grow revenue numbers when you're leveraging other people's debt or money. So just be very mindful of what other people do. A lot of times it's because we're leveraging debt, credit cards. But I think £1,000 is good. You can do it at 500. I probably wouldn't do it with any less than that. You just start, the cost of the services start eating into you. Hope that makes sense. When you find a product and it's really cheap, but this product is selling 56 a month, and you must take a minimum 300, would you buy it? It's up to you. I'm my God, if the product might be selling 50 to 60 a month, but the competition might mean you're actually, there might be 4 other sellers on the listing and you're going to sell 10, because once you get in the mixer, now you're one of the 5, now 10. That means it's going to take you 30 months to sell it, which is 2.5 years, probably no. But if there's no one else on the listing, or you win it and it's one FBM seller, yeah, I'd probably be cool, I'll take that, a couple of months, see how it goes. Maybe I'll look at, can I increase the sales rate? Is it really good product? I don't know the answer. It's so many variables. I hope that makes sense, but it's up to you. These are the decisions you've got to make. Welcome to the buying and selling game. It's cool. And also, how much cash do you have? There's so many variables involved. Let's jump through. Facebook user: why does Fast Track FBA seem to rush through VA training these days? My VA hire by you has a lot of them seem completely clueless. Hey, I'm really sorry about that. I really am. I don't know obviously who this is. I will jump onto Facebook and obviously reply. But I would say, obviously, if you are looking, if there is a problem with the training, do get in contact with our Facebook page. You can just kind of send us a message and you should have that when you sign up. And the aftercare team will really support. And it might be the case that, the training hasn't changed. We're still doing exactly the same training, should we say, the quality, 7 days. We're still doing still got the same trainers as we've always had, and we're still measuring that feedback. We still have the metrics to look at, and I do hope you understand that we do focus on the quality first. So if they don't sign off with the metrics we're looking at, we won't sign them off, and we have done that, even from the hiring through to the training. But also the aftercare team are there. So I'm sorry to see that it feels like your VA is clueless. Speak to the aftercare support team. That's what they're there for. And obviously, we'll jump in and support you as well with your VA. And obviously, if we're still struggling as well, like it seems like you are, then obviously we can really support you and maybe even replace that VA as well. So do speak to the Fast Track FBA support team. Happy to do through the Facebook page chat. You should have that already, and obviously we can jump in and support you. But I will obviously, after this call as well, just tag my team in that and obviously get them to support, or put us in the private Facebook group as well, and my team will jump out as well and help you out. So the support is there, don't worry. But sorry to say you feel that way. Obviously doesn't sound good, but Thank you for sharing. Cool. Give me 2 seconds. Right. Your approach is that I enjoy to provide simple but effective thought and understanding behind the process, making it easy to grasp. Cool. Thank you so much. Right. It's going to jump through. I'm going to try and jump through quick. Hi, Tom. Any update on your admin VA training service? The admin course goes live this week. We're going to finish beta testing. Then we're going to beta testing of the VA side. 2 weeks. Watch this space. I will let you know, obviously, in this live. Brett, why do you think it is acceptable to charge £600 for an admin course? Hey, great question. Really, really good. So let me ask you a quick question. I do Tony Robbins coaching. Now, that's about $10,000. That's a lot of money, by the way. They charge that. And I could ask the same question to Tony, acceptable. So the one question I kind of think about for me is like, where are we at with our business? You know, we do 3 million in the UK, also in the US, we've done 500,000 now in sales. And my big question is kind of like, I've developed systems, I've developed processes, and which are working. You know, allowed us to scale. If you followed my journey from like 30,000 a month up to what 300,000 a month now, and we have lots of IP complaints, we get them overturned. We deal with P&L, we deal with stuff like all of this has taken a lot of time, a lot of energy to develop. We have 5 admin VAs now, and we put all this into our course, and it's, you know, it's a lot of information. And it's not only that, and a thing which I think I would just want to kind of share with you is it's not just an online course of some videos, should we say. Like, this isn't just videos. This is, you get the course, you get the videos which are always updating, my team using it, but also as well, the other thing to say is that you're getting access to a private Facebook group whereby we have our actual staff on, and you can ask questions about admin, and we're going to answer those, and we'll be available. So this isn't just a course, it's actually a community where with my team in, and you can ask. And for that, we're giving you lifetime access for £600. So look, at the end of the day, you don't have to buy it. That's up to you, but it's completely up to you. So, you know, if you feel 600 is too much, not a problem. Don't buy it. And the same for me, like when I paid 10,000 for coaching with Tony Robbins, like I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. But I will honestly say it's the biggest game-changing thing I ever did in my life, and it's added so much value. And you know, the saving which I've made from it has been incredible. And I think for you, the question I'd ask is, how much does the admin cost you in time? Like £600 is like nothing. Like it really is. If you can save like, let's call it 20 hours a week or even 10 hours a week, you don't have to go research and do anything. Like, how much do you value your time at? That's a really important one. I think I worked out my hourly rate on another one. It was something like we do like £3,000 net profit per week, and I work 2 hours a week. So £1,500 worth per hour in time. And I was like, wow, like to save me an hour of my life is like £1,000. Cool, spend it. And I'm not saying that that's the same for you, but like, where do you want to be? That's it. And hey, I've been quite vocal about this as well. Like I bought courses from Amazon Lit, Watch Me Amazon. They're like $2,000, $3,000. I could probably go figure out the wholesale game myself. I really could, but I'm paying for their expertise. That's what I'm paying for, and I'll pay $3,000 for it because I want to surround myself with people with the knowledge, the experience. So that's a really important thing. Right, I'm going to have to kind of rush through. I will need to finish about 2 minutes early because I'm in a room and I can see people outside and they want to jump in this room. So let's kind of jump through. I noticed you undercut on some listings. What rules do you have set up and why? Maybe. Generally, we try not to undercut. We've actually been much better in the last couple of weeks. We've seen margins have dropped. Rules set up, I think we'll only undercut when the stock's too old. That's it. We just want to clear it down. And that's it. So I think it's up to you. And that's about us managing our inventory. Let's kind of jump through. Angela, I just dropped by to say thank you for your videos. A lot of help. Graduated the Academy. Cool. Well done. Glad to see you really enjoyed that. And thank you for the feedback. Hey, Tom, did you see my message at the very beginning? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I did. I answered it at the very beginning. Jump back to the beginning of the live at the end. I can answer it there. Edwin, done. That prep center is based in New Hampshire. What state do you set the VPN Express to placement to New York? I think you could do Delaware. Or it could be New York. I think it's Delaware. Oh, no, you're right, New York. Yeah, we set New York. It's fine. They work. It's like really close. Delaware, New York, and New Hampshire. Yeah, fine. Yeah, we've done that. And don't get me wrong, we still get cancelled orders. It's a nightmare, but like it did cut them down quite dramatically. Let's jump through. Facebook user, what is the recommended profit minimum bar for someone new? It's completely up to you in cash flow. Generally, we talk about UK £3 profit, 30% ROI, 5 sales per month, but it's completely up to you, your cash flow. Like I can't tell you the answer to that. It's up to you. Let's kind of go through it. What do you think of liquidation pallets? I don't deal with them because of invoicing and IP complaint issues. You just can't get the protection, and I know. So we don't deal with that. eBay, fine, but Amazon, no. Don't iGen offer top-up training for fast-track FBAs as they aren't well equipped? I don't know. I know Luke personally. I know the team over there. But possibly, I don't know. I'd be very surprised if they offered fast update training. But hey, that's cool. So, but I know they do other stuff. So yeah, fine. JKR training. If you purchase from somewhere like Walmart or Argos, do they sell as new or like new as Amazon and other receipts? We sell them as new, always as new. We don't do like new. And Amazon have asked for receipts, i.e. like customers are complaining that they're fakes. We've provided them with the Argos and the Walmart invoice, and Amazon accepted them. And let's just be very crystal clear. Amazon's own conditions say that you need to ensure that you can prove the products you've purchased can go all the way back to the supplier. So Amazon is willing to accept that Walmart buy from the manufacturer, i.e. like that. So they are proof that it goes back to the manufacturer. They just need to see the supply chain back to the manufacturer, and Amazon accept that Walmart buy from the manufacturer. That's what, and hence there's no problems there. Terry said, thanks, Jay. I'm going to have to jump through. I've got 1 minute. Hi, Tom. Side up for area leads. I have to say I'm very disappointed. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry about that. Do speak to Fast Track FBA support on the chat down the bottom. And obviously speak to them, give us your feedback. And if there's a problem, you can get a refund as well. Like, honestly, the support are really good. So I'm sorry, some people obviously it doesn't work for, but obviously, like majority of people, we have some really good feedback by them. But obviously, do check it out and speak to the little chat window, and obviously tell us what the issues are and see if we can help you out. If not, obviously ask for a refund, and the team will do it. So that's fine. It seems a lot out of stock, and the one seems in stock not to sell very well at all. Estimated all seem to be very low. I'm sorry about that. Speak to support, and obviously we can have a look into it. We are focusing on trying to get more in stock. Let's quickly fire through the last two. Don't let people tell you 6 months is too much for a course. How much is the university costing? Agreed. And again, it's all up to individual people. Completely agree. Thank you very much, Techno. I just created my account. What products can I sell before I get ungated? Look at Fast Track FBA YouTube channel. You'll see ungating. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have to get out of this room. I'm in a WeWork right now, and people want the room. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing. Keep smashing your Amazon business. And hey, I will see you same time next week. Stay safe. Bye-bye.